As a Black woman who has dated white men in the past, these are some of the things that I've faced and heard in my relationship. One of them, my first white boyfriend always made comments about my hair, especially when I changed it. Or maybe it was just like getting it done. I was wearing weaves, and I remember the first time he had touched it and he was just like, oh. I got really insecure about it, and so I would never let him touch my hair when we were being physical or just anytime. He'd be like, I don't understand why you have to wear fake hair. I was like, this isn't fake, it's human.
My mother-in-law calls me that black thing. When I'm out and about with my stepkids, people think I'm their nanny. And my stepkid's stepdad calls my husband an N-lover. I am losing it. What do you think I should do? So I've married into a racist family. The only thing is that my husband isn't racist. He defends...
Number 2, if you are a Black person and you have a non-Black partner, okay, go ahead and get their phone right now. Family, group chat, whatever. Check your name and put the N-word. The 9-letter one, the 5-letter one. Go ahead, put it. Add Negrita in there. Add monkey in there. Search monkey, search watermelon. Just search all the racist terms in there. Because it's getting crazy out here, okay? It's getting insane.
I have an ex, and he's white. So I feel like, just make your conspiracy theories and think about how it's gonna go, la 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 la. Basically, he popped back into my life like a few days ago, like maybe, let's say a week ago. About a week ago. Yeah, and he slid in through iMessage games, and I played the game obviously, but I was like, bro, what, with laughing emojis? Okay, forget all of that. He's so odd. I was thinking, maybe I like this guy again, I was thinking that. I actually don't, honestly. Please someone take this man away. He's racist, but he's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like one of those people that make racism a joke. But it's like, you don't know if he's... Bro, it's so odd.
Eventually someone's gonna take my TikTok away because I keep outing myself. But one day, years ago, I met this guy. On his profile, he looked white. It said Caucasian. And I met him in person, and we were talking, and he's like, oh, like, your hair's really cool. Like, what do you mix with? And I was like, nothing. The sun? I don't know, sir. No.
Okay, y'all gonna have to excuse my hair, but I am, like, pissed right now. Like, let me tell y'all what happened. So, I'm, like, talking to and or dating this Hispanic dude right now. Like, it's still kind of early-ish, whatever. Today, we chilling, just regular, out of nowhere. This motherfucker just like, Negro is a good word. We should really bring that back. Bitch, what?
So when I was 18, I started dating a guy that I met online. And everything was perfect. He was literally like a gentleman. He opened my car door. He sent me money to put for gas. He would send me money every time I was hungry. He was literally a Prince Charming and everything that I could ever ask for. Even though things were going great, certain things started to trickle down very slowly, and then it started to progressively get worse through each month. So one specific time I was doing my hair and I didn't have the products for it or whatever. And he made a comment about Black girls and their hair type and how I should just straighten it. And I said, like, that's really insensitive. Like, please, like, just educate yourself about our hair. Like, it's not that big of a deal. He got really offended that I said I didn't want to straighten my hair. And he was like, oh my God, I forgot that I'm dating a Black girl now. And he walked off.
Yeah, I don't mind my hair, but the Jana and Kenny situation hit different when you actually been through it. Dating a racist? Tough. Like I was in a long-term relationship, and this boy was racist the whole time, but I never knew it. I never really paid attention to it because people when it comes to men, they lie so good. It's hard to not believe them. I'm not gonna lie. It's like they study a book of manipulating. It's like they taught manipulating from birth. And that being my first relationship, it was hard. It was hard, man. It was hard to believe. It was hard to grasp that he was a racist.
So another time he actually invited me to his parents' house, and I was driving from school, and he was about midway to my home, so I always would try to stop to see him. The first time that he invited me with his parents knowing, I came and we were just hanging out in the basement. Like, I was seeing his childhood through the lens of, his parents' home. And we were just hanging out when his parents got home and we came upstairs. This was really uncomfortable because when we went upstairs, his dad took one look at me and could not look at me for the rest of the night. I had no idea that his dad was racist, but even me just trying to be like, oh, do you like this? Or trying to have conversation with him, he would flat out ignore me. I was very uncomfortable. The next day I told him hey, I think your dad might be racist. And he was like, yeah, you're right. And I was like, oh, why would you put me in that situation? And he was like, well, I wasn't 100% sure, but I just wanted to see how he would react.
Me all day long. We no longer speak to my in-laws, and it's posing a massive problem because all of them, including the birth mom, has ganged up together to come against me and my husband, and all we want to do is love my stepkids and his children. We are currently in family court. There's all sorts of lies being spewed, and honestly, if I react, I'll make things worse. I love him. He's been with me through major weight loss. When I felt massively insecure, he has been my confidence. Absolutely love him. I also love my stepchildren, but I am losing the will to be civil. I don't want to hurt my husband's chances of winning access to these children, but also I don't want to be abused anymore. It's a real story. These things really happen. And we're going to be discussing this at my event coming up on the 26th of September. We're going to be talking about IVF and stepmotherhood. We're going to be talking about chronic illness and stepmotherhood. And we are also going to be talking about interracial dating and stepmotherhood. So I hope to see you there. The link is in my bio.
Okay, so search all those terms. You never know. You can't be giving black children. You cannot be birthing black children to anybody, okay? It's a lot of racist people out there. Okay, again, Trump supporters, 92% of us voted for, that lady. The rest of those other people are unaccounted for, okay? Unaccounted for. There's no way that we don't know one or two Trump supporters. It's impossible at this point because he's the president, okay? So I know y'all thinking, it couldn't be my person. It probably is. Okay, 92% black women, we voted the right way. Y'all know, y'all see the facts. That's an A on an exam. No one else got an A. Okay? So it's not really possible that you not with a Trumper. I'm sorry. It's the facts is there. So go ahead, check that phone.
Let me say one of the words. Let me say something he texted me. Get this big black woman away from me. And then obviously, I don't even know what to say to that. Then obviously, he was telling me about his sister's gonna go get an industrial piercing tomorrow. I was like, oh, that's so cool. Your sister's a bad bee. I love the way they look, but I would never get them personally. He was like, oh yeah, you're black anyway, so black people don't deserve it. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's also not it. He's called me a monkey before. One of his friends called me a WHORE, and he laughed about it. I don't know how he got to that assumption. One of his friends is also racist. No, most of his friends are racist. That's my bad. He used to send me watermelon and fried chicken TikToks, and because I'm black, so he used to send me those on TikTok.
But since we're asking, are you just white? And he's like, yeah, no, my people come from Vikings, but yeah, I'm just white. And I was like, okay, cool. Moving on. Months later, I meet his parents, and his mom hits the corner, and she's my color. And I'm like, that's your mom? He was like, yeah, speaks fluent Spanish, says she's Mexican. I thought you said you were just white. Well, yeah, I am, because we don't claim them.
And then he gonna talk about some, I'm only tripping because he's Hispanic, it's not really racist. I'm tripping. So, like, the question is, am I tripping? Or is this motherfucker, like, because I told him, you an underlying racist. Like, am I tripping? Or y'all agree with me? Like, let me know. Then he's had to say, it's different because I said, grow. I didn't say, I'm sorry, are y'all really hearing the difference? Because I hear no difference. Then apparently, I'm doing too much because it's just a word. It shouldn't offend me. It's just a word. It's just a word, right? I think though. But anyways, that was what happened today. And it's so much more stuff that has happened over the course of our relationship that made me side-eye this nigga like. But like, but today was the line. Today was the motherfucking line that he crossed and I can't get over it. I can't. I have a black child. Like,
exploded. A lot of people said that I should have left him there, but I loved him so much I gave him another chance. So one day we were talking about our type and stuff like that, and we were describing that people that we used to be with. I was 18, so usually you're not supposed to talk about other people that you've been with and stuff, but I did and he did. So one day I was just like, yeah, like my type is like usually was dark-skinned men. And, a lot of people in my family are dark-skinned. And he straight up said, ew, you like dark-skinned N-words? Like, those people are so ugly or something like that. I literally flipped out and, he apologized and stuff like that. And I was young and I was dumb and I took him back. His friend flew Confederate flags and I would express the fact that I felt uncomfortable being around him because he also would say racist things and I always got gaslighted every single time I expressed my concerns. One night, me and his friend and him were in a car and they were smoking and I guess his friend was wetting the paper a little bit too much. And he was like, bro, like you're literally inward lipping the blunt. He also stood against me whenever I would talk about Black Lives Matter and literally said that Black people wanted to be a part of something so bad. So we make organizations and support other people that are in the wrong and resisting and literally need to be killed. Like for part 2, like this is too much.
Like once you leave, everything adds up. Like all of a sudden, the exact day that I left, everything started adding up. Like when we was on the trips together and people would be racist towards me, well, us, because he was with me, he would not say nothing, do nothing. It would not affect him in no type of way. At all. Even when I tell him about his racist friends, it would not affect him at all. He did not care at all. When I tell him about men who, try to talk to me but were racist, he would not care about the racist part. He just cared about the men trying to talk to me part. Like, it was obvious. But, of course, to me at the time, it was not obvious. I had too much going on. Then, remarks he made gave off racism. Like, it was just plain in there. But like I said, it wasn't plain in there because he was lying and he was making it seem like something that it wasn't, when the whole time it was racism. Every time I confront him about those racial remarks or whatever, he'll say, the favorite lie they like to use, oh, I'm not racist. How could I be racist and I got Black friends? I'm gonna tell y'all this right now. If a white man ever say something like that, they racist. I don't care. Go on, lay it down. They racist if they say something like that.
So this was also extremely damaging to my security and self because I had this feeling like, oh, this person chose to be with me. But it was more so just testing how much they could gauge the anger that their parent would feel for them rebelling against their wants. After years of us dating, I was always being snuck into his family house, and I would be snuck out before his dad woke up at a certain time. So I would have to drive home super early in the morning before his dad found out. So we dated for like 4 years, and for that first year I had met his parents, and then he kept me a secret for like 3 years. And like the last year before we officially broke up, his parents allowed me to come to Christmas dinner. I sat on the couch with him, and I remember like laying on his shoulder, and I remember feeling his dad's eyes just like burning a hole in my skull. And before Christmas, he was like, Dad, I want to bring my girlfriend to our lake house with our cousins. Like, I want her to meet everyone. And his dad was like, you will not embarrass me like that. So I remember like I had all my stuff packed, and I was like laying in my bed waiting for him to give me the answer. And he calls me and he's like, I'm sorry, like you can't come. And he's like, I'm pulled over on the side of the road because I don't know what to do, if I should just turn around and go home. Like, but it's like he chose to go up north and leave me. So now my other partner was another guy that I met in college. This one was like more covert. I actually remember my ex, the first one I was just telling you guys about, flying to Australia. I was doing a study abroad there. And I knew this guy, the second one, from my class, and we would just text and stuff. And he was trying so hard to take on the role that my boyfriend at the time had. And I was just like, I just want to be friends with you. I just want to be friends with you. And it wasn't until I knew like that my first boyfriend was never going to choose, like he was never going to pick between me and his family, that I finally was like, okay, like I'm willing to give this other guy a try. Now this other guy was a lot more covert. He actually idolized Black culture. He was obsessed with Tyler the Creator. He loved like all of the fashion and the just a culture vulture. And I was going through such a stressful period because he had convinced me to move to New York with him. And I did. My dad had just bought me a Mercedes to have, and I ended up driving my car to New York. He had convinced me that because I worked in Manhattan and he worked in Brooklyn, that he should be able to drive my car. My dad also gave me like $2,000 that I could have in case of emergency. And he would constantly convince me to use the money that my dad had in savings instead of the money that he made, or the money that his parents would give him. So I ran out of money, and I remember one day, like, he was driving my car home from work, and he actually ended up crashing my car. Till this day, he has not paid me a single dime for the damage that he did to my car. And his parents were like, well, insurance should cover it. He also told me that, like, because my mom lived in an apartment, that we were probably just, like, low-income people. And then he ended up, like, randomly coming down to my mom's apartment and being like, oh, wow, this is a lot better than I thought. He had actually said some things like, we live in a nice house, like, you live in an apartment. And he would also send me, like, very damaging texts, like, from 6 p.m. or whenever I'd lay my head down to like 6 a.m. in the morning. And they would say things like, I helped heal a Black girl. He would also do like really weird abusive behaviors, and then I would like dissociate or detach, and then he would try to have sex with me afterwards. I remember like when we had to come home from New York, I lived with his family, and he didn't want to work like a regular job because he was working to be an artist. And I took on 2 other jobs. So I was like a yoga instructor / working at the front desk. And then I remember I was like training for a restaurant job that would work from like 5 p.m. until maybe 12 midnight. And I came home from my training that night, and he was convinced I was drunk, though I had nothing to drink. Like, I literally drove home, and he lived like 30 minutes from the job. And he like screamed at me and like just was like, you are drunk, I know you're drunk, like yelling at me. And I'm like, no, I'm not. Like, I'm literally sober. I just worked. Like, I'm tired. And when I get tired, my eyes do get really small. I do look a little high, but I promise you guys, like, I was sober. And after I like literally was like, bro, like I'm so over this, like I'm going to leave. And he like begged me to stay. So I came back inside and yeah, he forced himself on me and I was like, I don't want to have sex. And he like did not care. So I just laid there. And he got so upset with me. He was, I can't even sleep next to you, and like left me in the room to just sit in my nakedness. There's so much more, and if you guys want me to do a part 2, I can. I just noticed that this is getting a little long, but yes, there is a lot that I've endured as a Black woman dating white men, and I just don't know if I will ever do it again. Unfortunately, the circumstances would have to be very different.
I'm done.